Okay, welcome back to your 5.1. This is for pre-calculus class. Mr. S speaking to you right now. This one is verifying. So if you see a word verifying your equations or trig identities, here's what it means. You want to get the right side that shows up over here, or you want to get the left side that's going to look like the right side. Okay, you're going to see the right side, but I'm going to cover that up because I don't really pay attention to what I see here. I know what I want to get, but I'm not going to even mess with it. I'm not going to play with that at all. My goal is to simplify this part over here to make it look like that. Okay, it's like saying something like this. Show me 2 plus 3 equals 5. So what do? You don't really mess around with the 5. You just have to count your fingers, 2 fingers and 3 fingers. How many fingers do you have? Basically, that's what that is, right? So it's the same thing. So here's what we're doing then. We're gonna look at this side. Now my rule of thumb, usually, okay, it happens most of the time. I would say 80% of the time. When I see a tangent, I will convert it back to the simple ratio of sine divided by cosine. So I'm going to write like this now. Sine, so this one stays by itself. Tangent, I'm going to write that as sine of x over cosine of x. Like that. So this is sine and this is tangent. So when you time those, I get sine squared over cosine of x. Okay, I can just don't write the x if I don't feel like it. So now plus another cosine here. Okay, that's the cosine in the back. This cosine. All right, I'm not gonna play with the secant. Now if I want to add this, I have to get the common denominator. So right now this denominator is 1. This one is cosine. So I have to multiply another cosine here. And there. So now when you multiply those up together, let me try to shrink this here. Okay. So now this side I had sine square of x over cosine of x. I didn't write the x. Since I have to multiply cosine in the bottom, I have to multiply also the top with the cosine. So now I got cosine square on top on a cosine. Now when I add those, since they have the same denominator, I don't add them. I just keep one denominator to represent your common denominator. And then you have sine square plus cosine square. We just briefly talked about that in the last couple of videos. So anytime you see sine square plus cosine square, you can make that equal to 1. Okay? So now if you have 1 over cosine, it's the cofunction or the flip of a cosine. So if you have a flip function of a cosine, that is called secant of x. So when I get here, look up there. Are they the same? If they're the same, you have done your job. So for your work, you're gonna show all these here. Okay, you don't have to show that one, but at the end, you'll see that they are the same. All right, I'll show you another example in the next video.